Good morning. My name is Lisa Maxwell. Today is March 9th, 2026. We'll continue using the giant Rider-Waite Tarot. I really loved the messages that came out yesterday. They were difficult, but we hear the word difficult. Makes us not want to do it, right? But we must, in order to grow, in order to move on. One of the central card of the reading was the Four of Swords yesterday, inviting us to, take that step back and hear a different perspective. Because if we don't do that, we find ourselves running away from situations that are actually quite good, but we get all wound up in our head and in our own ideas, and then we get to that Eight of Swords. That's the natural progression. One of the features of the Four of Swords card was the stained glass window, and my eyes kept being drawn to that. And I actually went to church right after I did the reading. A bunch of stained glass windows everywhere. And one of the things we need to remember, our sword, and one of the things I brought up in yesterday's reading was about how we're using our words. What's the intention behind them? Swords are truth. When we hear truth, it can be cutting, like a sword. So the truth of the matter is, part of the matter, we keep coming back to that keeps coming up for me, is that everything that has, no matter how old you are, everything that's happened has brought you to this point. Sword, again, the point of the sword. And if we keep looking back at what a wreckage things are, and we just keep running away from things because of that, we just keep running. And we're running with sharp things. We keep breaking things. We keep breaking ourselves. If we can stop and instead and look at what has been broken, what the swords, how we've used our swords maybe inelegantly, and caused hurt to ourselves and others, in our clumsiness, in our running away, in our ignorance. If we stop and assess, what can happen is that we can start picking up those shards of glass, and we might have gotten cut on a lot, and create that stained glass, create a work of art from what has been broken. So we can keep running, or we can start making something beautiful with what we have, appreciating. So instead of running away, appreciating what we have, and thinking of, oh, well, this isn't working, that isn't working. What is working? That Knight of Pentacles keeps coming up, the Strength card. We have the strength. We have the endurance. Let's grow that patience with one another, with ourselves, first of all, and know that no matter what we've done, we can stop doing it and start making beauty. I'm noticing that pillow behind me kind of looks like stained glass. Window. Beautiful window into something else. Anyway, that's just some commentary that kept coming up on the cards from yesterday. And no matter what's going on around us, what has happened, what's been done in our name, how we've been represented, our small interactions with one another. All of those cards that came up, with the exception of the moon, was feeling, what are our feelings trying to tell us? Something's trying to get your attention. Change needs to happen. But it's on the day-to-day interactions and those slow Knight of Pentacles, doing the small things that you can do that make the big changes on the large scale in those major. Don't discount the small things that you do or that you don't do. And don't discount going back and making an amend. See, that guy in that Seven of Swords was looking back. He kept running forward. But I looked at the card again, and he's looking back like, oh, yeah, you know what, I can fix that. And I was also noticing in the card this morning that in the background was actually the five of the five figures that are in the Five of Wands, which instead of it being all this really sharp stuff is now more of a playful action, almost, like a tussle rather than all those swords. So there was some opportunity. Here's the card, Page of Swords. Yeah, truth. Truth that comes out in a way that can be unexpected. But what do we do with it? It's a message. Remember, the pages are messengers. Don't kill the messenger is what I'm getting right now. It's a beautiful day with, so instead of with birds, hearing the birds in the sky. So sometimes when we get a message that comes in like a Page of Swords, sometimes this can be a representation of tactless messages. We can knee-jerk react. This is a page, again, youthful energy, immature energy. So we can overreact without just taking in the information, taking it in, noticing, I'm again noticing the box, that it's a sunny day, that actually things are okay. I just need to take in this message. So bring in that Four of Swords energy, right? Take in the information and run it by, like kind of just draw it in, absorb it, and, run it by your higher, wiser self. Your historical wisdom is fine, right? But know that it's different information that's coming in that may feel challenging to receive. I know that I see that in my daily interactions with people that the situations going on in the global scale, I see the frustration and the anxiety. Like, this can be frustration and anxiety, when we use our swords in the wrong way, or when we're receiving it, we're just like reacting to it. I see that it's the stress and the tension, and then these like interactions happening that are sharper than they need to be, happening within daily conversations. The frustration coming out about I'm saying it, frustration coming out about the helplessness, about being able to do anything about it. But we're not helpless. Pull in that Knight of Pentacles energy. Know that those, again, small interactions, you can change those interactions, the way we communicate with one another. Swords are communication. We can change all of that around in just our small interactions between ourselves. If we start like actively aligning our heart speak with who we really are on our day-to-day, we're going to know how to do things on, when it comes to a different sort of dimension, a different arena, a larger stage, and bigger interactions that have higher stakes. Another card. Six of Cups. The inner child. Maybe there might be coming back to what I was kind of picking up from the Seven of Swords energy from yesterday about we might have the opportunity to have conversations or communications, even if it's in our thoughts, even if it's only in our thoughts. Sometimes these messages are in our thoughts, and we can approach them differently in a more loving way. I'm noticing these are all are lilies. The flower of Archangel Gabriel. Messenger. So instead of, killing the messenger, approaching it with an open, here's a flower, like I want to make amends. And even if, again, it's something that's on the global scale that's really just oppressing you and obsessing you, and maybe you're in a circular thinking about it, which is be more of a Nine of Swords energy, but I'm gonna heal this situation because I'm gonna recognize that you are a human being and I am worlds away from you seemingly, but I'm gonna try to do my best to heal that by just changing the way I talk to the people around me with whom maybe I have conflicted connections. In my situations, we start to turn our circumstances around when we do something that's just different, that we, approach these things as, oh, I remember where we came from. I remember when we were all little, and, remember that everybody is, a child. I'm again drawn to this sun card. We come into the sun and more of our soul, we meet one another on a soul level. So we might have some opportunities to maybe have some healing conversations today and come and meet one another on a heart level. Cups are emotions. Remember, that's our emotion. That's our feeling world. This is creativity, and six is a number of receiving. So this is we give, we'll get back when we're in that more receptive way. We get, and we give. When we're giving something, we get more than we even dreamed. So the Fool, and it's a new beginning. It really is, and we really are on a totally new. This is starting over. The Fool is also a card of weirdly protection because it's the Zero card. This is which creates a circle around something. It's sacred. Say, I'm going out in the beginning, but I'm going out not just saying I'm getting with this Fool. I'm not going out with just this is. I'm going out with faith. I'm extending a faithful, gesture. Again, I see the flower in his hand. This time it's a white rose, which would be definitely like I'm waving the white flag. That's what I see these lilies as. I'm waving the white flag. I want to start over. Can we start over? And I have faith. And just like, what if it works? He's going to go off. What if it just works? Doing something different. And usually I see this little dog as like, he's trying to get him to pay attention, but I see him as a joyful dog today. Joyful. Oh, I'm so happy. Let's start over. Let's step forward in faith. We're gonna have some difficult, maybe a little difficult information comes in, but if we step forward in faith and we remember and be gentle with one another, whole different ball game. Yeah, we can get out of these prisons of our own making and away from these, Five of Swords, kind of thing. This is a major arcana, new beginning, but it's all what you make of it. All right, I am going to leave it at that. If you want your own reading, direct message me on any of the platforms, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. And pass this message to anyone who you think you might need it. Like, share, subscribe. Have a great day.